going into this gain phase very, very lean. One of my favorite lat exercises, the old school lat pullover. Not every gym has one of these, so if you have one, take advantage. I always get a little claustrophobic in this setup. It's the curse of being the tall guy. You always feel like you're gonna bump your head on everything. What's going on, guys? Okay, so I'm here at HUGE Fitness. This is gonna be episode 2 of my Get Big series, Road to 350 pounds. Now, to clarify, I'm not chasing after the scale weight truly, but looking back historically at some of my biggest physiques, getting up to 350 is probably going to be realistic. I'm at about 300 right now, so we're talking about adding 50 pounds of quality size. Now, is all of that going to be muscle tissue? Of course not, but I set myself up nicely to gain a bunch of that weight because I'm going into this gain phase very, very lean. So for those of you who are new here, have not followed along, you can go check out some of my old videos. I just concluded about a couple months back an extensive fat loss diet, so a full bodybuilding prep style diet. Got down really, really lean. Took about 16 weeks, got to about 5-6% body fat. Got down to the leanest I've ever been, also the lightest I've ever been, down to about 284. So phase 1 of this kind of get big journey was a 4-week reverse diet. So you can find another video on my channel where I really go in depth on the reasoning and importance of utilizing a reverse diet. But basically for 4 weeks, incrementally brought my calories back up out of that deficit, back up to a sustainable maintenance while staying really lean. And at the end of that diet, you're depleted, you're basically a walking zombie, you're not sleeping, your energy is in the tank. So the goal of that reverse diet was, hey, get my calories back up to a sustainable place and kind of restore the systems in my body, get my sleep back, get my energy back. And now going to phase 2, kind of this maintenance health phase. And that's where I am right now. I am in the final week of this maintenance and health phase before we really crank the knob up to 100 next week, go into full calorie surplus mode and go to true hypertrophy focused training. But the goal of this little health maintenance phase was we spend a lot of the year pulling our body in one direction or another. We're gaining weight or we're losing weight. We don't want to be just tugging our body in different directions all year long. I like to take a couple months out of the year where we're just staying still. We're kind of in a homeostasis. So maintenance calories, holding body weight, holding body composition for the last few weeks. And then the goal of this health maintenance phase is just get in really good shape, get myself feeling phenomenal, get my blood work phenomenal. I've been using some mitochondrial peptides, SLU PP332, MOTS-C, SS31, been using some retatrutide, and I'm going to put a video out going fully in depth on the peptide protocol, but really trying to get some mitochondrial upregulation. Like I said, I want to be in phenomenal cardiovascular shape and fitness going into this surplus mode, so I can attack the next 20 weeks of training at the highest capacity that I ever have. So I'm gonna take you along with this full day of training. It's an upper body day, and I'll kind of talk you through it as we go. Now, this training is gonna look very different than the training I'm gonna be doing starting next week when we go into true hypertrophy mode, calorie surplus mode. Like I said, I'm trying to get a lot of work capacity, GPP, kind of conditioning, higher volume, fast-paced type stuff. So we'll follow along for this training session. I'll talk you through some of the philosophy and methodology, but we'll see you guys at the gym. Okay, guys, so jumping into the first phase of this workout, starting off with a little bit of a core circuit. So I'm gonna do some planks, I'm gonna do some loaded rotational work, some side bends, good stuff like that, moving at a quick pace, loading the core and multiple planes. By the time I get done with this, I'll be lathered up. Okay, it's gonna be a work capacity, GPP, some good quality core development work, and then we'll get into the main lift itself, so follow along. Okay, so like I mentioned, this phase of training, one of my big goals is to be in really good shape and just to restore everything joint-wise. I want to go into this gain phase where I'm going to be hammering hard, heavy, low volume, progressive overload training. I want to go into that feeling my best, moving my best, just healthy from top to bottom. So right now, for these last few weeks, I've been starting these training sessions with kind of a fast-paced, multi-planar core workout. So just rotating, moving in different planes, hips are loose, spine is healthy, and it's just good work capacity, conditioning type work. Getting into the main session here, this is gonna be a little bit of kind of hybrid style training. So starting next week, like I said, it's gonna be all just hard, heavy, nasty, straight sets, pushing to failure. How strong and big can I get? These last few weeks and this final session here, it's been more high volume, doing a lot of single arm stuff, doing a bunch of isometric work, high volume, supersets, things like that. So we're gonna go into the main lift here. I'm gonna start off with 3 exercises in a circuit. I'm gonna go pull-ups, and every set of pull-ups I do, I'm gonna change grip. So I'm hitting all different angles. I'm gonna pair that with a dumbbell incline press for high volume, doing sets of 12. And then the third exercise is gonna be a loaded heavy side bend. So I'll go one exercise to the other. I'll get about 4 sets of each, and then we'll move on to the next thing. So we'll catch you over there. So an exercise I really like that looks goofy, but if you ever try it, it'll absolutely smoke you, is a loaded side bend. I like using the Smith machine for it because there's no stability component to it. Kind of puts that bar right in the groove and you can load the hell out of it. So if you ever do some loaded side bends, which you're probably not doing, do a couple sets of them and you'll feel how sore you are because how underdeveloped those obliques are. So getting the pull-ups in, we're gonna do 4 sets of the incline. We got the side bends. I'm gonna get 5 sets of 5 on the pull-up. Every set doing a different grip. So we'll go wide neutral, wide pronated, underhand, narrow neutral, close pronated. So again, just really working shoulder health and durability here. You'll see I go full dead hang every rep. So going into this next phase of training with just good, strong, mobile, healthy shoulders. Enjoying my ability to do pull-ups like that. Now we'll see if this ability holds up when I'm 350 in 18 weeks from now. So going high volume here. Starting next week, we're gonna drop down to low volume. So I'm doing 4 sets of 12 here. Next week, it's gonna be more like 2 sets of 6 to 8, heavy as possible. And this block, I've been using dumbbells, more of a stability challenge. Whereas next block, as we get into that true gain phase, I'm gonna transition to either a barbell or Smith machine where there's more stability so I can get the loads that much higher for a pure overloaded hypertrophy stimulus. Again, this current block of training is more challenging variations, single arm, instability, moving in different planes, high volume. So when I'm taking long rest periods starting next week, I'm able to really recover and put full force into every rep. So if you see me in the gym on my phone, I'm not perusing social media, but I've got my logbook in the notes in my phone. So every set, every exercise, I'm always recording it. What was the weight? What was the exercise? How many reps did I get? That way, every week, I can just pull up the previous week's session and I know objectively, okay, what do I need to beat? How do I add 5 pounds? How do I add a rep? What did I do last week? So, would I like to keep an old school logbook in the notebook, Dorian Yates style? Give me some more clout with the older generation, but what can I say? I'm millennial. We're gonna go iPhone. So going with the single arm alternating shoulder press. Again, in this block, finding ways to make lighter weights more challenging, working out some of the asymmetries and limb to limb deficits, doing more of the unilateral, the alternating type stuff. Because the next week, it's gonna be all double arm, bilateral, barbell, machine, loaded up, heavy as hell. So kind of just get myself set up with this training block. So pairing the single arm alternating press with the single arm alternating pull. I like pairing my pushes and my pulls, just makes my shoulders feel great. I'm making sure that any volume I'm getting on the anterior, the press, I'm equaling it with pulling volume, posterior shoulder, upper back. That's how you really help just keep the shoulders durable and healthy. So again, finding ways to make this lightweight challenging. Next week, we're gonna be loading up 5, 6 plates and just rowing the boat. So one of my favorite lat exercises, the old school lat pullover. Not every gym has one of these, so if you have one, take advantage. But I like it because it's a good loaded stretch on that overhead mobility, and then takes the brachialis and the bicep out of, a pull down or a rowing movement. So big fan of these. All right, so I'm gonna pair these with dips. So I brought the dip belt, might put some weight on these, but I'm gonna try to get a really full range of motion on the pecs, get some high volume work. Set to 12 on the pullover, set to 12 on the dips, 3 sets each, bouncing back and forth. So dips, if you follow me, you know they're one of my absolute favorite pressing accessories for any pressing related goal, hypertrophy, strength, whatever. Feeling it out, my triceps are pretty smoked from all the high volume pressing, so I'm gonna go just body weight. Again, set to 12, really deep range of motion, just trying to, again, just mobilize, loosen up everything during this training block. So when I get to the heavier weights, I'm healthy, I'm durable, but I always get a little claustrophobic in this setup. It's the curse of being the tall guy. You always feel like you're gonna bump your head on everything. All right, I'm gonna bounce back and forth, hit some more pullovers, a few more sets of this, we'll move on to the next thing. I swear you guys probably get tired of me talking about intra-workout nutrition, but anytime you guys are watching me train, I'm gonna mention it. Intra-workout nutrition. Carbs, aminos, electrolytes, creatine. Got my coconut water, essential aminos, my field rations from Troponin Supplements, highly branched cyclic dextrin, some added sodium in here. We're good to go. Okay, so we're gonna cap off this lift here with a 4 exercise circuit all here on the cable. I'm gonna do a single arm overhead tricep extension, high volume. I'm gonna do a cable rear delt reverse fly. I'm gonna do a cable hammer curl, and then I'm gonna do a cable front raise. And on the front raise, I'm doing something called isodynamic reps. So I'm gonna start with a 10-second pause, down, 8-second pause, down, 6-second, 5-second, 4, and 3. So 6 total reps, descending pause times. Gonna get a big pump in those front delts. So I'm gonna circuit through those 4 exercises, 3 rounds, no rest in between, just get a huge pump in the upper body, and then we're gonna cap off the session with a little bit of zone 2 cardio. So see you guys in a minute. All right guys, so just wrapped up the lift. So good workout, fast pace, a lot of volume, bunch of work got done. So I'm gonna get on the bike. I'm gonna do 15 minutes of just steady state zone 2 cardio. That's something that I've been really diligent about here during the reverse diet and during this health phase, is keeping physical output really high. So I'm getting minimum of 10,000 steps a day walking. I just track it on my iPhone, and then I'm doing 15 minutes of steady state cardio at the end of every training session. And I'm gonna keep that going into the gain phase. You know, a lot of people are scared to do cardio, scared to be really active in a gain phase. They think, oh, cardio is killing your gains. Totally not true. Okay, as I'm getting bigger, I wanna make sure my cardiovascular fitness keeps up with the size gain. I need to get blood flow to that new muscle. I need to make sure that my system, my heart, can actually support the new body weight and new tissue. And it's only gonna allow me to recover better and to just have better conditioning within my training session. So I'm gonna keep cardio in during the gain phase. I'm in really good shape right now, so I'm just chomping at the bit to crank calories up and really start getting hard and heavy with the workouts. Now, as far as diet goes, next video that I put out, it's gonna be my surplus diet, so kind of phase 1 of the true bulking diet. Right now, the diet has been extremely structured. Ever since the fat loss diet ended, the diet has remained rigidly structured. I'm doing 1 cheat meal a week, but outside of that, it's been the same fat loss diet, just increasing portion sizes. So added about 100 grams of carbs every week for the reverse diet. Now I've kind of been maintaining here at about 750 grams of carbs on a training day, but all food selections, all meal plan is totally dialed in right now, maintaining this really lean body comp so I can go into this gain phase as a clean slate, ready to put on size. So anyway guys, stay tuned. Like I said, next video, I'll cover the new diet with all the food that I'm gonna be eating. And then beyond that, we'll go into more training, showing you guys the hard, heavy hypertrophy work I'm gonna be getting into. And hopefully by the next time you guys see episode 3 of this series, I'll be up to, you know, a good 315 and then only onwards and upwards from there. But guys, if you're enjoying the content, hit that subscribe button,
Every week I'll be continuing to put out content covering nutrition philosophy, training philosophy, episodes of the Hammer and Chisel Performance Podcast. So episodes of this little series, the Get Big series, are going to be coming out every few weeks, but content is going to be coming multiple times every single week. If you want to see more of me, go to my website, hammerchiselperformance.com. For my one-on-one coaching services, I work one-on-one with people for nutrition, training, and both. I've got my ebook, my training programs, my training community, Team Hammer and Chisel, $28 a month. You get to be a member, receive ongoing training programming from me on a weekly basis. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for the support, all the engagement you've been giving me. I love putting out good content for you guys. We'll catch you on the next video, hopefully at a much bigger size.